Hello and welcome to this Revisto video tutorial where I'll be running through best practices for exporting information from Civil 3D to Revisto for engineering and infrastructure design projects. My name is Peter Cordier and I'm part of the customer success team here at Revisto. In this video I'll be running through how to export models from Civil 3D to Revisto, how to export drawings from Civil 3D to Revisto, the Civil 3D Navis works to Revisto model workflow, and how to overlay Civil 3D drawings in Revisto. So here we have a Civil 3D model and we have the Revisto 4 tab open. So to export a model, it's very straightforward. Click on Export to Revisto. And now I'm going to create a new project because this is the first time I have exported this particular model to Revisto. So I'm going to give the project a name. Obviously you can give it whichever name you like. Click OK. Now in this case I'm only exporting the model, so you would just select this box, Export 3D Model, and if you had a point cloud in there, you would tick that. In this case, there's no point cloud in there. For the first time that you export the model, it doesn't matter whether this is selected or not. The subsequent times that you export the model, if materials have been updated in the model, you can select this and those material changes will be carried through. So click on Export. And when the model is exported, it will be brought into Revisto like this. So now we're going to run through how to export drawings from Civil 3D. So we have a different file open here with some sheets in. I've got my Revisto 4 tab open. Click on Export to Revisto as before. And I'm going to deselect the model and select Export Sheets. Now this particular file or model has a couple of sheets in, so you can select the sheets you want to send through, or all of them or some of them. And when you've selected your project, you simply click on Export. And that doesn't take very long, and now we have the Revisto project here, and you can see that those two drawings have been brought in from Civil 3D. Now that's how to export drawings and models from Civil 3D separately. If you wanted to send both the drawing and the model from the same file, you can do that. You would simply select both boxes and, as before, run through the steps. If you wanted to schedule the export from Civil 3D, you can do that. So you select the things you want to export. So that could be a variety of different things, like I said, the model and the drawing together or separately. And you would then select, say, Monday at 7 PM, click OK, and that would then schedule that export for the time and the day of the week that you've selected. So now we're going to look at the Civil 3D to Navis to Revisto model workflow. And there's a good reason why you might want to do that. If you export your models directly from Civil 3D, everything in the model space will get sent through. So the first model that I exported, that was a clean model. All of the links and working drawings, etc. were taken out of it. This particular file has a lot of other information in the same project. So if you sent all of this through, it would look quite messy and get confused inside Revisto. So the recommended workflow would be to first export your Civil 3D files to Navisworks. Here we are in Navisworks with the Civil 3D models brought in. So you can see here that there's quite a lot of information that isn't needed or is going to confuse the Revisto environment if you bring all of this in to Revisto, all these working DWGs, etc. So I've created search sets to isolate the storm drainage, the sanitary or foul drainage, and the surfaces here. So I'm now going to hide everything else, and you're left with the information, the geometry that you want to bring through to Revisto. So again, click on your Revisto 4 tab, export to Revisto, and here we have the export to Revisto dialog. So you would select export 3D model, select your view, then you've got one view in this project. I haven't set any others up, and you would, if you want to export viewpoints, fine, but there aren't any. And the levels, materials, I'm going to deselect that, and I'm going to select use render appearance, but you can obviously choose whether you want the render appearance coming through or not, and that's all you need to do. So you can click on export, and that will start the process to export that project. So here we are inside the Revisto with the Navis geometry brought in, and what we're looking at is actually the existing topography here. So I'm going to turn that off, and this is the proposed information. So here we have the Civil 3D drawings. So when they come in, they don't have the 2D, 3D overlay. I'm going to show you how to overlay a 2D drawing. So come into the drawing, select 3D overlay, select the area of the drawing sheet you want to bring through. Done. Now we're going to come into the model, and what we need to do is actually find a section of where that drawing is going to be cut. So I'm just trying to find a vertical or horizontal point, and I'm going to come down a little bit to about there, click done, and now I need to find where this drawing is and how that relates to the actual model. So once you're happy with the positioning, you can select done, and then the last step is to set your bounding bounding box. You can see how if I were moving it according to the project levels. Done, and that's now set that drawing as a 3D overlay. So if we just click on the green box, we can see what that looks like. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you do need any help with your project setup, please do contact your local Revisto technical support. Thank you.